This disclaimer image establishes the channel's mission to help busy home cooks break down complicated recipes into simple visual step-by-step guides. The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Spinach, provolone, and pepperoni calzone, a classic Italian-American calzone featuring New York-style pizza dough slow-fermented for up to 5 days, stuffed with wilted fresh spinach, melted provolone, savory pepperoni, and grated Parmesan, baked on a pizza stone at 500 SF until golden and crisp. Recipe by J. Kenji Lopez-Alt from Serious Eats, serves 3-4, about 822 calories per serving. Total active time is roughly 30 minutes with 1-5 days of dough fermentation. Alright, let's go over everything you'll need to make these amazing calzones. We're splitting our ingredients into 2 groups, the dough and the filling. For the dough, grab 22.5 ounces of bread flour, that's about 4.5 cups. Bread flour gives us that chewy, pizza-like texture we're after. You'll also need 1 tablespoon of sugar to help feed the yeast, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt for flavor, and 2 teaspoons of instant yeast to make the dough rise. Then get 3 tablespoons of olive oil, we'll use some in the dough and save the rest for the filling, and 13 ounces of water. For the filling, pick up 6 ounces of fresh spinach, 8 ounces of sliced provolone cheese, 4 ounces of sliced pepperoni, and 2 ounces of grated Parmesan. Finally, have some salt and black pepper on hand to season everything to taste. That's it, simple, straightforward, and nothing too exotic. Now let's get everything prepped before we turn on the oven. There are 4 key steps here, and none of them are difficult, just follow along. First, we're making the dough. Toss the bread flour, sugar, salt, and instant yeast into a food processor and pulse it 3 or 4 times just to mix them together. Then pour in 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil and all the water. Run the food processor until the mixture comes together into a ball that rides around the bowl above the blade. That takes about 15 seconds. Let it keep going for another 15 seconds to build up the gluten. Second, pull that dough ball out onto a lightly floured surface and give it just 1 or 2 quick kneads by hand until it's smooth. Divide it into 2 equal pieces, then tuck each one into a covered container or a zipper lock bag. Pop them in the fridge and let them rise slowly for at least 1 day. You can go up to 5 days, and the longer you wait, the more flavor you'll get. Third, at least 2 hours before you plan to bake, take the dough out of the fridge. Shape each piece into a ball by gathering the edges underneath and pinching them shut. Dust them with flour, place each one in its own bowl, cover tightly with plastic wrap, and let them rise at room temperature until they've roughly doubled in size. Fourth, prepare the filling. Put the spinach in a microwave-safe bowl, cover it with a plate, and microwave on high for about 1 minute until it wilts down. This is important. Transfer that spinach to a triple layer of paper towels, roll it up tightly, and press hard to squeeze out as much water as you possibly can. Soggy spinach means a soggy calzone, and we definitely don't want that. Chop the spinach roughly, put it back in the bowl, and add the sliced provolone, pepperoni, grated Parmesan, and the remaining olive oil. Season with salt and pepper, give it a good toss, and your filling is ready to go. Time to bake. 3 final steps and you'll be eating golden, crispy calzones. 1 hour before you're ready to bake, place your pizza stone on the upper middle oven rack and crank the oven up to 500 F. A full hour of preheating is essential. The stone needs to absorb enough heat so it can blast the bottom of the calzone with intense, even energy the moment it lands. This is what gives you that crispy, well-browned crust. Once your oven is raging hot, turn 1 dough ball out onto a lightly floured surface. Press it flat with your fingers, then use a floured rolling pin to roll it into a circle about 10 to 12 inches across. Do the same with the second dough ball. Now work quickly. Divide the filling evenly between the 2 discs, spreading it over just 1/2 of each circle. Fold the empty half over the filling and press the edges together firmly, folding and crimping them to create a tight seal. Take your time here. A good seal keeps all that melty cheese and pepperoni locked inside. Carefully slide the calzones onto a floured wooden pizza peel, then transfer them onto the hot stone in the oven. Bake for about 15 minutes until they're deep golden brown and the crust is beautifully crisp. When they come out, resist the urge to dig in right away. Let them rest for 5 minutes so the molten cheese settles just enough that you won't burn your mouth. Then slice, serve, and enjoy every bite.